Welcome back to the Thank You Bro podcast. I'm your host, Will Glover, along with my co-host, Ryan Galloway, and we have a new co-host, analyst, specialist, Spencer Galloway. The last name stays the same. Completely different person, though. Spencer, go ahead and say hello.
Completely different. Probably a stretch. Well, I don't feel so new because, one, I interact with both of you on a daily basis, but two, we're gonna have to admit to a little fumble here, a little mess up, a little situation that we ran into last week. But we did what I would say was a really good episode last week.
It was,
and something happened on the back end. We hired this new editing guy, and he's supposed to just see one job: mix it, post it. And then we get,
what's his name? Craig?
I thought it was
Craig.
I think it's Rob.
Robert.
Yeah.
I think it's Rob was who we decided to bring.
Yeah,
up.
Robbie.
Yeah, he's bad.
Yeah, so
audio,
safe
he
to
chopped
say
my audio
Robbie's
recording.
horrible.
Yeah, it's not good, man.
It was Robbie's
shout out
first and
Robbie.
last week on the job, but
Friend of the show.
There was a lot of gems in that one. Maybe that's something that maybe it's a vault episode. Maybe someday.
No, it's not coming back. Trust me, Robbie talked to me. Robbie talked to me, and we'll listen to the recording. It was really bad. On me, guys. I ordered a cloud lifter. That won't happen again. So I can turn my gain down to normal levels. The reason why my gain's so high right now, I don't have an amplifier. Anyways, that's technical, and I'm not talking about that. Yes, welcome episode 19. Can you believe that? Technically 20, if you think about it. Yeah, big for the show. We're hitting our stride now. Ryan is, what are you doing, man?
Doing a bit.
Man, I'm just here. I'm excited to be re-recording this with you guys. We got, it's going to be a little bit different. Every show is a little bit different, but especially now, the last time we recorded this, we were talking about the upcoming championship games in the NFL. And now we're going to be reflecting and reacting upon them. And I think we have a lot to talk about. So dare I say this will be a better episode.
I wouldn't say better because I have to talk about Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. America's teams lost.
Yeah.
America lost. America lost yesterday. Let's just put it that way. Dare I say it was one of the worst national tragedies in our country's history. I don't think that's a stretch.
I dare you not to.
So, Spencer, I know Spencer watched the game. He was texting us in the group chat. Spencer, go ahead and start us off on your thoughts.
Well, first I'd like to say that if nobody got to hear last week's episode, but I'd like to just pat myself on the back because first things first, man. I predicted these two games correctly. Not only that, but I dropped a little sports betting knowledge on the folks, and I correctly picked because nobody heard last week's episode, so I can just say whatever. I correctly picked that the Lions would cover +7. Actually, I didn't do that. But I did say that Chiefs money line was the way to go this week. And I mean, I don't know. It's pretty much, it's chalk, man. I'm taking the Chiefs money line or the Chiefs to win until
spread. I don't care what it is.
Until they prove that they're not going to do it, especially against Baltimore. I mean, they looked a little bit outmanned yesterday. They looked, one team really looked like they belong, and it was the Chiefs. And it's because they do belong. It's because they do this year in, year out. It's not surprising at this point. Of course, we're one day removed from the championship games, and we're getting all the hot takes about is Pat, catching up to Brady and Montana. And, a lot of it's really premature. But, we're kind of headed that way. They've got the best quarterback head coach duo in the league. And that's pretty much a safe bet to get you to a championship game, if not the Super Bowl, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes already deserves to be in the conversation for top 5. It's 6 years, 6 conference championship appearances. This is his 4th. Is this his 4th Super Bowl?
4th Super Bowl in 5
6 years. I mean, I don't even think Brady didn't even do that. He's 28. He plays to 42. He's still got 14 years to. I mean, he's got a long time to go and beat Brady's records. I think it happens. And which really sucks for Patriots fans. I know Ryan's sobbing right now. What really sucks for them is that Brady's only going to have time to be the GOAT for about 10 years, and then he's going to get surpassed really fast. Look at him. You can hear him clicking loud, too. No, we're just going to lean into it. Sorry for the break in the action. We had some technical difficulties. Not my fault. Not Rob's fault this time.
This time it was on me.
You had your glasses on when that happened, too. You looked like a dumbass.
Yeah, no, I felt like a dumbass. Don't worry.
Okay.
But hopefully that's been amended and we are good to go.
Yeah. So anyways, we were talking about, I don't even know how to cut into this, but we're going to find a way.
Well, y'all, we were just talking about how Mahomes was on his way to Bradshaw level. And then after that, we'll see.
Yeah. And I think he's already passed. I think he's 2 all time already, but
well, yeah, we're just trying to pump the brakes on Will a little bit. We're just trying to reel him in a little bit. No, you're fine.
I just don't know if you can. I don't know if you can say he's better than Manning already.
No,
Peyton Manning is.
Is Manning 2 for you? If Manning's 2 for you, yeah, I'll put Brady at. Manning, I'll put Mahomes at 3. Okay, the Mahomes at 3. That's fine.
Yeah, he threw for like 5,400 yards in a season. Now.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll pump the brakes a little bit. I'll go Mahomes 3.
So you talked him off the ledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyways, yeah. So America's team failed us. Baltimore.
America's team.
Where is Lamar Jackson? Was this a Hall of Fame? Define in terms of like missing out on the Hall of Fame. Was that his defining game? Is his career settled?
He can turn it around, but this is easily the best team he's ever had. And so now I really think, and they've asked it before, but now I think you have to really ask yourself if you're Baltimore, has Lamar taken us as far as we can go? He's a great regular season player, extraordinary talent. MVP, probably going to win it this year, deserves to win it this year, but he just can't be the guy that leads his team all the way to the Super Bowl. He can't win the big one.
Yeah, that's fair. Spencer?
So Lamar's well on his way to being a Hall of Famer. I think I know what you mean. Like if he had won yesterday, I think his case starts to look a lot more clean and a lot earlier than maybe we expected. But I think Lamar is 28. He's 27. He's 27. Like I've never been that high on Lamar as far as winning a playoff game. I still going forward, not sure I'd bet on him. I mean, granted, we'd see, let's see next year. Let's see what it looks like. But I'm not drafting another quarterback from Baltimore. I'm not moving off of Lamar.
Not right now. Capable. He's still in his prime.
Yeah, he's more than capable. I think, but there is tiers to this, and we have the Mahomes and the Bradys of the world who, they're the outliers. It's like the rest of the team. Yeah, make it as good as you can, but really, I've got my quarterback, I've got my coach. Give him a favorite target, and we'll figure it out. I think we're finding out that Lamar is not that. Lamar is still. We want to make sure that the pieces around him are really strong. The coaching is really strong. We want to go into the playoffs healthy. Everything, not everything needs to be right, but we want to check off as many boxes as we can to make this as easy as we can for him, because we saw some of the passing game went away yesterday and it just Lamar didn't look comfortable all the time. I think some of that's on the fault of the receivers as well. You can also point to play calling. At the end of the day, those 1A quarterbacks, they kind of figure out they make everything else look a lot better. They can make up for drops or inferior talent. And Lamar's probably just not at that level. So I think the Ravens just want to go into this offseason looking to fine tune, not overhaul, just sharpen it up, fine tune the edges.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. We'll see. Lamar's got couple years left. And then he's going to have to figure out how to kind of change the way he plays, because those legs aren't going to be there for too much longer. The arm will always be there, I think, for sure.
And the arm is great. And we don't talk enough about the arm when it comes to Lamar. He's really one of the more gifted pocket passers in the NFL. It does get overlooked because of the great athlete and the great runner that he is, and his ability to make plays on the fly should not be understated. And the arm talent will always be there for him, I think. But then again, I do think we put a clock on these guys. I mean, like I said, he's 27, and just because he's not performing at the levels of Patrick Mahomes, I mean, I don't know how many guys I'd actually put ahead of Lamar at this point. I'm not firmly putting Josh Allen above Lamar and like feeling that great about it. Same with Herbert. I mean, these guys are all about the same talent level, and none of them are really standing out more than the others at this point. There's a great young pool of quarterbacks. Hell, Brock Purdy, look at how far he's come in such a short amount of time, but he has had the infrastructure around him more so than some of these other guys.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of Brock Purdy, we'll go right into it, because I think we touched up pretty good on that situation over there in Baltimore. We don't need to talk about Kansas City anymore. I've never been high on Brock Purdy. Y'all know that. The show knows that. I'm still not. Christian McCaffrey is still the reason why they're this far. If Purdy delivers a masterclass 2 Sundays from now, then sure, whatever. We'll start with you, Ryan. What an absolute disaster the second half was for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, so the Lions there, I think a lot of what we saw wasn't that San Francisco was far and away the superior team. I think you could pretty easily argue that they, put them both down on paper. San Francisco is better than Detroit. I think that's a fair statement. But I don't think that's the primary reason they lost. I think that it was a lot of experience. Detroit had never been there before. I think they pulled up a graphic before the game that the entire roster of the Lions had 7 total appearances in a championship game, and the 49ers had 50-something. I think experience played a huge role in it, and not just experience of the players. Shanahan has coached a team to a Super Bowl. Shanahan has found a lot of success. Dan Campbell, I love. He is amazing. I think he's going to be amazing for Detroit football for the next however many years. He's not going anywhere. Detroit's not going anywhere. I think we're going to get used to seeing them compete at a pretty high level. That being said, I think he was definitely outcoached on Sunday against the 49ers, against Kyle Shanahan, and you could point to that field goal that he should have taken.
Yep.
I probably would have kicked the field goal, but also what got Dan Campbell and the Lions there was being aggressive and taking those risks.
That's fair.
And so I'm okay with him being true to himself in that case. That being said, being up, what did they? They allowed 27
unanswered.
Yeah. 27 unanswered. You can't.
It's ridiculous. There's no excuse.
That's embarrassing. But that being said, I don't know. I don't understand your hate towards Brock Purdy anymore.
It's Iowa State, man.
No, you have hate towards Brock Purdy.
Your hate.
I'm sure he's a great guy. I hate the way he plays
None of us
football.
are without sin.
The way Brock Purdy plays football sucks. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable.
He plays the right way.
Lunch pail guy.
He wins games. He's exactly what San Francisco needs. I'm not going to call him a system quarterback anymore. After this season and this performance, he has proved to me that he at least belongs as a starting quarterback. I'm willing to say that he is a good NFL quarterback. And you know what makes him a good NFL quarterback? He doesn't make mistakes that bone his team. And he also delivers in some pretty big moments.
Would just like to highlight that sports and analyst Ryan Galloway is much different than the fan Ryan Galloway. Ryan watching the game yesterday, Purdy makes his just spectacular throw down the middle of the field while getting like sacked and just, I mean, this is a hit that would have killed any of us. We'd be dead. And he makes this beautiful play. It's like on a 3rd and long, whatever. But it was a huge play in a big spot where they needed it. And Ryan just goes, lucky. just groans, lucky. So, yeah, hey, Ryan, you've matured in the last 18 hours or so, but we're not
Ryan
without.
The fan is different than Ryan the analyst.
None of us are without.
To be fair,
fault
we were all praying on that downfall last night.
Yeah, and I've been saying forever as a Mac Jones defender that like a Mac Jones type or somebody of that caliber could walk in San Francisco and do that job. Is it a nice situation? Yeah, but it's, you know, if it's like me, I drive a Ford Fusion. If you handed me the keys to a Ferrari today, I'd probably crash it. You know, so the 49ers are a Ferrari and Mac Jones has been driving a Ford Fusion. So if you handed him the keys to that, I don't even know if he'd know what to do with it. You know, so there's something to be said about managing all.
That's a fantastic analogy.
Managing all that talent is not easy. Making sure that guys are fed, you know, evenly. I mean, working with Shanahan and that dynamic offense, it's not easy. So hats off to Purdy. He is officially, I mean, I don't know where you want to rank him, top 10, top 15, but he is not some bottom feeder QB who's just been blessed, you know, to be drafted where he was.
Purdy blessed.
No, San Fran blessed.
That's true.
Was he?
Yeah. Did you bet on Purdy?
I was.
There's no way. Who? I'm talking about bets later.
No.
I wouldn't bet on Purdy. I'd bet on Mahomes, 100%. Mahomes in the playoffs.
Bet on Mahomes. Bet on Pat.
Oh, you know what? Just real quick, I want to issue a public formal apology.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I watched yesterday in the Chiefs-Ravens game, my friend Marquez Valdez-Scantling catch a huge pass, long ball, in the clutchest moment of the game.
Important.
Made the play, caught it. And I had very rude things to say to him against was it against Buffalo when he had the game-winning touchdown in his hands, uncovered, and dropped it?
Yeah.
And so I'm not excusing that, but I understand why he is employed.
You have employed him on your fantasy teams in the past as well. Let that be known.
That's where the hate. That's where the hate comes from. That's where it stems.
That's exactly where the hate comes from.
That's where it stems from.
I had him when he was on the Packers. He wasn't hurting anybody except for me.
Yeah, you
and probably
love
Packers
to sign
fans.
up for this.
Yeah,
you sign up for the MVS drama. Sticking real quickly with Chiefs receivers, did y'all get to see the Kadarius Toney like Instagram live during the middle of the game?
I mean, if I'm the Chiefs, I don't care at this point. He sucks.
The Chiefs are unfazed by it, but I mean, just what a way to send off your career.
That's the reason why they won.
Wow.
That's the reason why they beat the Ravens, because Toney wasn't playing.
Yeah, the boneheaded decisions just go way out of the window. It's good. It's a huge win for Kansas City.
That and Travis Kelce deciding that he's going to be like this weird Draymond Green, pissed off all the time kind of guy, and it worked. It worked. He had an insane game.
I don't want to talk about
it.
He
was being a bitch the entire time.
Important games of his career. It was brilliant. Mm-hmm. He was so good yesterday.
He momentarily silenced the haters. I can be pissed.
Well, you
about
can
it.
be mad
I'm
about
very
it.
upset.
You can be mad about it. I shouldn't have said that. You can be pissed about it, but he played so well. I mean, and now it has, of course, sparked the ensuing T Swift narratives that we will not really entertain. I will say the worst post I've ever seen was the official ESPN account, just like their biggest page, not one of the little side accounts, just the biggest page posting that Delta Airlines has now announced that flights to and from Kansas City to Las Vegas are now $19.89 and $87. Those are the flight numbers. And
are you serious?
Deduce the meanings behind that. Swifties
it just gets worse.
I mean, the quality is
Flight
just
11
insane.
find the LaGuardia.
Yeah, so in other news, the NBA has just been insane with the scoring lately. Man. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, who's not getting buckets?
Man, y'all didn't like that joke? Yeah.
No, man.
70, 70, 70, 62. Or 73, 70, 70, 62, something like that.
73. Put respect on my cousin. Luka.
That Mavericks team is awful. 3. That Mavericks team without Kyrie is so bad. Luka's
it's not good at all.
But Luka loves when Kyrie has to sit, right? He loves it.
Oh, yeah, because he scores 40.
All the touches.
He's averaging 35 a game now. Are you kidding me? We have two dudes in the NBA averaging 30, 35 plus, and then SGA's at like 34 and a half.
And one of them's a fraud.
Yeah,
I just want to know why these teams think that they're going to find success and championships when they stack their roster with players who almost exclusively need the ball to score. Like, they are only creating their own shot and they're fighting over the ball the whole time. And I think maybe they're pointing to Miami with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, and that worked.
But that was LeBron.
But they all three took back seats and became like LeBron was passed first.
Yeah, LeBron's points average dropped 5 points per game. We were talking about this earlier.
They compromised and made it work. And if you're not getting that compromise, you're going to get every team that Kyrie Irving has been on since Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, LeBron's point average dropped.
What happened to the game I love?
5 points per game in Miami, but everything else went up. His shot efficiency went way up. That's why the Heat were so successful, even against teams like San Antonio and not Dallas somehow, but we'll talk about that one. That one's for LeBron fans. That's a tough finals to justify, but everything else though you can justify. I want to go back real quick. So Luka's averaging 34 and a half, not SGA, my bad. And he's also averaging 9.5 assists. He's second in the league in points per game and third in assists per game. The Mavericks currently sit at they currently sit at 8. Could this be I know MVP usually goes to best player on best team, but can this be like a Russell Westbrook exception since we've set precedent in that area now?
Unfortunately, maybe. And I shouldn't say unfortunately. What Luka's doing is special. I've not always been the biggest Luka fan, but I have always loved to watch him play, and I really recognize that he is an offense unto himself. He, outside of Jokic, is the most polished offensive player in the NBA, I would say. Second to only Jokic, and Jokic, I think, is we all can agree unanimously that he is the best player in the NBA. Yeah. The MVP thing is weird this year because it's not like the season's almost over, but we're 4 months in and we really don't have a clear favorite. I think Vegas would say Embiid, but Embiid's going to run into a few different things here. One, narrative, he won it last year. It's really tough to repeat as MVP. Plus the thing that happened on Saturday where right before tip off, he said, no, I can't go. And that was against Jokic. That's a big spot and you need to play in these games. But also the new rule where you have to play a minimum of 65 games.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. Awards. He's running into that. He's running into that threshold.
There are 39 or 38 games left for the Sixers, and he can only afford to miss 6 more. If he misses more than 6, he's done. And we can all easily see him missing more than 6 games. Now, if he does, great. It clears a path for Jokic to get it again. It clears a path for Luka to get back in the race. The 8 seed is tough for me. That's tough for me to go that low. I mean,
it happened with Westbrook. That Westbrook, Mavericks team without Luka is sitting right next to the San Antonio Spurs at the bottom of the West. I promise.
The slight difference that's changed now. Westbrook was the 7th seed, and now with the play-in, if you're in the 8th seed, you might not make the playoffs.
That's true.
Whereas with Westbrook, it was like at least we're going to see at least 4 playoff games from this guy. With Luka, they may actually just miss out on the playoff. But I don't think I can give it to a play-in guy. Too many guys ahead of that who are deserving.
Well, then let's talk about the 1 seed Thunder and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's MVP case. Ryan, you have anything to say about that one?
I don't. I would love it. I think it would be really cool. And I definitely would work with the best player on the best team. I don't think that the Thunder are the best team, but record-wise, they're up there right now.
Yep.
I still think this is going to be like it's been the past couple of years. It's going to come down to Jokic and Embiid. I think that Jokic is entering that territory. And I don't want to speak too soon, and I'm sure one of you will correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Jokic is kind of in that spot that we said LeBron was in the 2010s, where it's every year, probably should go to Jokic. It won't, but he's clearly like the MVP year in, year out. You take Jokic off of the Nuggets, and they're down, they're not a serious threat to anyone anymore. It's just Jamal Murray and some really great pieces running around the court. So, yeah, I'm not going to really feed much into an SGA MVP narrative this year. I would just as soon make an argument for Tatum.
Tatum comes first.
If you're going to make that argument, you have to make it with Tatum too.
Yeah. The Celtics are 3 games above anybody in the league. And when his stats don't look as sexy as SGA's, but you also have to factor in that he's playing with Kristaps and Jaylen Brown, who both average more than 20 points a game as well. And so it's similar to, and I'm not going to compare 2024 Tatum to 2013 LeBron, but it is a similar situation where 3 stars come together at a lesser scale, but and guys take a step back on the statistically. I mean, I don't think Tatum has taken a step back at all. I think he looks a lot better. He's shied off of the sidestep threes and is leaning way more into attacking the mid-range, attacking the paint. This is the most polished he's ever looked. The Celtics are, like I said, 3 games up on the Bucks and the Thunder. I think if I was to take my favorite 3 right now, I would run it through, everything goes through Jokic right now, most impactful player in the sport. Tatum has best record, best player on the best team. And then we can start to look at Shea, but also I would hold Anthony Edwards right there. Because the Timberwolves are knocking on the door for that 1 seed. They have held it for most of the season. A little bit of a slip recently, but if they get their footing back,
and the Hornets,
they're going to be right there. Yeah.
How are you going to be the Timberwolves and lose to the Spurs and the Hornets in the same week? Well, before I talk about that, I want to say SGA is leading this Thunder team where their starters are averaging at an age of 21, which is younger than us. And he's leading this young team as a 25-year-old to the best record in the best conference. I'll give him that. But yeah, ultimately, what both of y'all said, it's going to come down to Jokic. It's going to come down to Embiid if he doesn't miss 8 more games or whatever it is.
Now, if the Celtics, who have like one of the most, they have one of the easier schedules remaining, if they rip off some crazy streak here, or if they end up with 60 plus and they're the only team,
but you need Tatum to be taking more shots.
That's tough.
You need Tatum to take more volume. More volume.
Yeah,
be more,
I mean, I don't know.
He needs to start stat padding. This is the NBA we live in now. So, and that's not going to happen.
And if that's the case, then it's not worth it. I mean, he's spoken so many times, and there was the report that's gone around a few times now that they all had a players only meeting that he called and was like, it's time to sacrifice. We just have to.
Yep. Go get that Finals MVP. It weighs more, in my opinion, than
it does.
Kawhi. It's like Kawhi Leonard's 2 Finals MVPs weighs a whole lot more than if he would have won in 16 had Curry not existed, for example. So, anyways, moving on to the Timberwolves real quick, and then we'll start to wrap this up. Is this just a little fluke skid? The Timberwolves kind of getting a little lazy. They're playing the Thunder tonight, so we'll see how that goes.
That's a great match.
We'll see. I don't think that they're seriously competing for a championship this year. I don't think that they have what it takes skill-wise or experience-wise to get past Jokic, Durant, whoever else is going to be in there, So I don't, I think they'll right the ship and finish with a really strong regular season. But I don't see them making that much noise in the playoffs this year.
I see they match up the best against the Nuggets out of any team in the West. We saw that last year.
Still.
Yeah, but if they beat the Nuggets, it's like the Nuggets last year got great matchups besides the Timberwolves. They got teams that didn't play to that that played to the Nuggets' strengths, like the Lakers, for example. So, I mean, I think you're right. I don't think the Timberwolves are serious unless they play Denver somehow in the second round. I don't know how it's going to shape out. I don't know how it's going to look. And I know for
me the West still runs through Denver.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Unless the Lakers can make some crazy move, Clippers look great. We can actually talk about the best team in LA, the Los Angeles Clippers. I don't think they play tonight. Are they playing? Oh, they are playing the Cavs. The Cavs are making a comeback too. I uploaded on our Instagram the power rankings, our power rankings.
Yes, you did.
If y'all got to look at that, I'll read them off real quick, and then we'll get some comments and reactions on that. So Celtics 1, that's unanimous. I have Thunder 2 right now, Nuggets 3, Clippers 4.
It's fine.
Bucks 5. Cavs 6, Knicks 7, Suns 8, Sixers 9, Timberwolves 10 because of their very bad week and a half. Thoughts?
They're bad because they're bad.
Yeah, no, they're very bad week and a half.
Yes. Yeah, the skid is. I don't think it's alarming, but it's fair to highlight it for sure. Where did you have the Suns, or where do we have the Suns on that
Suns
list?
Suns are sitting at 7. If you're not in the top 6, you're really not competitive. I think they're 7.
I think they're hotter. I think the offense is coming along.
8.
Obviously, the emergence of Grayson Allen as a
as the best shooter in basketball.
Yeah, as the best shooter in basketball. Has been really charming for the Suns. And I mean, he was a throw-in in that trade, and it's actually worked out well. But yeah, they have a little bit of ways to go. And the biggest thing for them is always health. So I think in my mind, I want them to be higher, but it's like, I just, you have 3 guys who are in and out of the lineup all the time. And if we can't see it, on a consistent basis, it is hard to rank a team like that with even though all that talent, it's hard to put them higher.
Yeah. Let's see what else I had. I wanted to talk about, I had the Clippers at 4. We were talking about the Clippers. They've been playing great basketball.
Love the Clippers right now.
I forgot they had just beaten the Celtics.
It was
with Kawhi leading the charge. He's getting hot. He's shooting 50% from the field, 50% from 3 in his last 10. I think the Claw is getting in playoff shape, and he's actually playing basketball, which is what we wanted to see.
He's going to be all NBA this year.
Out of him.
He's going to be.
He's going to be all NBA this year.
Ryan's always high on Kawhi. And so
yes, and you know who I'm also high on, Will Glover?
Who?
I'm high on James Harden, who is playing his role magnificently. And I think he's proving a lot of people wrong by doing what a lot of people said he can't do.
Yeah, I agree.
I've got a stat for you.
I was not confident on Harden. Go ahead.
To piggyback off Ryan, and of course, I'll always take a chance to brag on my boy James Harden. And Will, you'll like this because you're a plus minus junkie, crackhead.
Is it box? Is it box plus minus?
Yeah, just clean box plus minus, just basic box plus minus.
Give it to me.
He is leading the league over the course of the past week. This Clippers stretch where they beat the Celtics, where they are just rolling. I mean, he has found his role. And like Ryan said, he's hitting his stride perfectly. And he's not taking a full back seat, but he's recognized that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard at this point are better suited for leading this team night to night basis. Those legs on James, they've gotten to be old. And I think he also realizes that, hey, if I can just facilitate for this team come playoff time, come the dreaded game 6 and game 7s, I can lean on my star. Not like Paul George has a clean playoff history either, but Kawhi does.
P.
And if Kawhi can be there, we don't want to be leaning on playoff P. But if Kawhi is there, healthy, and they have the chemistry established, I know everybody bogged on them after their first 6 games together. Man, they look fantastic. They look fantastic.
Yeah,
I since see them coming
December
out of the West.
2nd. Since December 2nd, they're 22-4 insane. And they're beating teams on average of around 10 points a game since then. I thought it was going to be pretty bad. It's really, I don't even know. I forgot who the GM of the Clippers is. Masterclass, though. They're my favorites right now in the West. I think they can match up against Denver, and they have the most experience they have the most playoff experience out of any team in the NBA, by far. With maybe, for exception, the Lakers starting core, but besides that, their bench is pretty inexperienced. So they look good. I'm excited. I'm excited for a Celtics Clippers NBA Finals. I'll clip that right now. That's happening. All right. There's our first major prediction, and it comes from yours truly. Celtics Clippers Finals. Celtics in 6. There you go.
Hey, nobody here nobody on this call is mad.
I know.
About that
yeah,
result.
I'm about to say y'all are not going to oppose me on that one. Yeah. So,
and while it would hurt me to my core to watch the Celtics lose the finals, and the alternate reality would be that James Harden gets his first
you
ring.
Can't say that.
And a small part of me would be like,
don't care.
I will be jumping up and down. I'll be like, I'll be right next to y'all as the buzzer sounds. I'll be standing right next to y'all as the buzzer sounds.
Yes.
That'll be funny. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe.
I guess that would also mean that Kawhi would get his 3rd Finals MVP.
No, we don't know. We got to see the series.
I don't.
They would only win if he showed up.
Yeah, I agree. So
I don't know. Maybe
and then that would put Kawhi.
Paul George could do it.
Here we go. Kawhi wins 3 Finals MVPs.
Is he top 10 all time?
No. Hey, no. All right.
He's not top 10.
Hold on. It's just a question.
No,
I don't think
10.
so. It's just a question. Top 20?
Sure.
Okay, that's fine.
Easily. For sure.
I can live to put him in the 15 area.
You can put him in the top 15 if he wins another one this year. Sure. That's fine. I mean,
all right.
You're kicking out probably somebody who's also deserving, but when you think about it, Kawhi, one of the greatest perimeter defenders of all time, three teams, like Ryan said, 3 teams, 3 finals. The legacy, I mean, he's got a really good resume, and if he adds to it, this would be the time to do it, because I don't know how much life this Clippers team is all of a sudden really old. So this is one of the final chances.
This is it. This is it. It's it for them. There's no next year for the Clippers.
There's no encore.
So you brought it up. I have to talk about it real quick. You said he's top 30 all time. I've been getting I've got DMs about this. People have DM'd me on Instagram, which
you deserve it.
Okay. Did you post for those who don't know, no, I it was in a comment section.
That's just commenting stuff.
Oh my God.
I commented because it was something about Ginobili with the whole.
I'm putting these on because you're about to say some stupid shit.
It was at the whole bat thing. I was like, Ginobili. I firmly believe in my core that Manu Ginobili, all time skills, achievements, even if you look at his advanced statistics, which I'm a big advanced statistic nut. Manu Ginobili is a top 30 all-time player in NBA history. I'm not even finished.
Wrong.
Idiot.
That's crazy.
Wrong.
He is a top 30 player all-time. One of the greatest shooting guards ever. Top 5 shooting guard ever.
Wrong.
I don't think that's wrong, if anything. Name 5 better.
List them.
MJ, Kobe, D-Wade, AI, Ginobili. George Gervin 6.
James Harden.
Not yet. He's got no rings. Maybe if he gets a ring.
You're kidding me.
I'm talking about accomplishments.
I'm
talking about accomplishments, man.
In my life.
He's got to get a ring. He's got to get a ring. He's got to get a ring. He's got no rings.
Insane.
He's got no rings.
That's insane. He has an MVP, countless.
James Harden is light years better than Manu Ginobili.
That is actually the most
I didn't know that was the conversation.
Manu Ginobili revolutionized the game of basketball in South America.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Okay,
we are talking about NBA careers here.
Yeah, I'm talking about career and greatness.
That's great. He belongs there, but he does not belong anywhere near the top 30 of the greatest NBA players of all time.
What are you talking? He's revolutionized the game of basketball in South America. One of the greatest
EuroLeague. Why do you keep bringing up South America, dude? What does South America have to do with this? It's a horrible argument.
There was no basketball in South America before Manu Ginobili. From Argentina. He changed the game. I don't care.
Spence, tell Will he's muted.
Well, Ryan says you're muted, so
he is one of the greatest winners ever. He is very decorated outside of the NBA as well as inside the NBA. Thank you, bro.
Will, you're one of the top 30 podcasters of all time.
Not yet. I got to get he's got his.
Yet. Okay, I have a fun exercise to wrap this discussion. Here we go. I just found this. I've read this list before. It's okay. It's decent. It's from when the NBA 75 dropped, and it's the Athletic, and it's their ranking, and it's pretty good. I would probably change some things around, but we're going to use it because it's what we've got. I'm going to start listing players, and I'll go pretty fast at the start. Will interject me when you're starting to think Manu could slide in here.
All right, go ahead.
I'm ready. Let's roll it. 1, Jordan.
Right there.
Will interjects. 2, Bronny Boo Boo. 3, 1A and 1B. 4, Russell Johnson. Wilt, Bird. Shaq, Duncan. Wow. That's low for Duncan. Bryant at 10. Olajuwon.
Bird
Oscar.
Over Shaq?
That's not what we're pointing out here. Durant, we're at 13. Durant, 13. Talk about that
later on.
West, Durant, 13, 14. Wow. Curry, 15. Malone. Garnett. Moses Malone. Irving.
Moses Malone under Garnett's crazy.
David Robinson, we're at 20. Dirk at 21. Barkley, 22. Baylor, Giannis, Stockton.
Yeah, right around there. Once you said Giannis, it was kind of over for me.
Okay, but keep
going. Give me the other one. Did you say Thompson?
You're saying?
Did you say Thompson?
No, I said Thomas. Isaiah Thomas, Detroit Thomas.
Oh, okay. I was like, if Klay Thompson's in that area, we need to have a serious discussion.
We're honestly not even sniffing the Ginobili area. Rick Barry, Dwayne Wade, hell, we're not even close. Havlicek, not even close.
That's pretty close. D Wade and
Chris Paul,
Manu Ginobili, pretty comparable. Yeah, now we're really getting close. If Chris Paul's in the 30s, we're getting close. I'm saying we're getting close. Give me Ginobili over Chris Paul for a career.
Pippen. Harden,
Pippen's
Leonard,
too low. I'll be honest.
Mike,
Kawhi's too low on
Pippen's that. Low. Kid, Ewing, Nash.
Yeah, we're in that area. I'm serious. We're in that area. If that's like what is that, 30s and 40s?
Number 39 is
top
Bob
40.
Cousy.
I mean, I'll top 40 easily. Okay, then I'll go top 40.
Here we go. Wait,
you've convinced me to drop my ranking down 10. Okay,
number 40 now you're is naming Allen players.
Yeah, so there you go. Right around 40.
Way.
Yes.
Dude. You ranked Iverson ahead. Okay.
Yes, right around 40. I think Iverson should be higher in that list. There are some names you mentioned that Iverson should be above.
George Gervin is at 42.
Yeah, and I had Ginobili above Gervin on the list.
Westbrook is at 46.
That's about right. That's fair.
He's way more
like
Westbrook.
50. He's way more like at least 50.
You know, I'm getting y'all closer. to where it was originally.
Paul Pierce is 50. He's not near Pierce.
Yeah, and Ginobili's a greater player than Paul Pierce was.
No. Ray Allen's
let's just get that out of the way.
That's laughable.
It's really not. Insane, what has Paul Pierce done that Ginobili hasn't? What has Paul Pierce done that Ginobili hasn't?
Led a team for MVP. 2 decades. What the hell?
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats is right.
He did. Yeah.
He's a 4-time All-NBA.
This is not close. We're not doing this. This
one-time champ. Are you serious? We're talking about one-time champions?
No, we're
embarrassing behavior.
Minutes.
Embarrassing behavior.
Ginobili played 25 minutes to 36 minutes a game max.
Nothing you say.
We're not. It was a sixth man.
We're not.
Look, he's amazing.
We're not going to let
lower player efficiency rating. You know what's ironic is that Ginobili and Paul Pierce had the exact same shooting splits as percentages. I think that's actually really funny. I'm looking at it.
And how many more points a game did Pierce? Okay, I need to. You got it going.
I got to mark that down. No. Editor Rob. I really got you riled up this one. Hold on. I want to one more thing. I want to say one more thing. Ginobili willingly came off the bench. willingly came off the bench. That's a winning attitude to win 4. If he was a starter, listen to his per 36, guys. I'll go in his prime for his per 36. Ready? You ready for this? It was a 6-year major prime. No, it was an 8-year major prime. He averaged 21, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block on 50 and 38 shooting.
Okay, so at his very best, he was an all-star reserve.
In that NBA, that's an all-star. Yeah, this NBA, that is. Look at pace. Think about pace. And he's
look. You know what? Though, here is a huge problem with your entire argument. All right, you are telling us all of these things about how great he is, right?
Yeah,
you're talking about his greatness, right?
His stats back
because at the end of the day, he had great talent, sure, but. And you know what? It's really admirable of him to take a step back.
It says, Will, you're muted. I'm going to kill you.
So he had, the heart and the kindness and the warrior mentality to take a step back, betterment of the team. And so maybe he sacrificed a lot of personal stats and accolades. Sure. But that factors into the GOAT debate, the lack of those things.
I'm not saying GOAT debate. You have
to bring that into the argument.
He's not in the GOAT debate. There's only 2 people that are ever be in the GOAT debate in NBA
but
history.
the top 50 greatest of all time, all the players ahead of him that Spencer was listing have those personal accolades. And I'm not discrediting his talent or what he's done for the game of basketball, but you just can't make that argument.
Okay, look at 2004 Olympics. Boom. Done.
We're talking about the NBA.
I'm saying basketball history. I'm saying basketball
history. That is no. You're changing.
No, I literally said, and I'll go find.
No.
I said top 30 greatest players ever. That's not just NBA. That's basketball history. I'm talking about how he revolutionized the game. He created the Euro step pretty much. He made it mainstream. He didn't create it.
We've spent a lot of time on this.
When Rob runs the tape back, there is verbatim Willie G saying that he said best players of in the NBA, not just all time. He said
okay.
NBA
well,
players.
When I go back, I will send y'all a text and apologize if that's the case.
It's the case.
I'll send you a text. I'll send you a text when I go back. Not now, obviously, because I gotta get ready for an intramural basketball game. I'm about to go channel my inner Ginobili.
I hope you sprain an ankle and drop 4 points.
I'm gonna drop 4 points, but hopefully I won't sprain my ankle. Drake made a song about him. Okay, Drake has a line about him. That should be enough.
There's nothing quite like. Yeah, well, there's nothing quite like Will Glover riling everybody up.
Insane
Everybody's
engagement
flinging insults, screaming at each other, all this nonsense. And then afterwards go, oh, my bad, guys. I was wrong about that. My bad.
Well, no, if I go back.
Okay, that's fine. If, okay. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in this week's episode of the TYB podcast. I've been your host, Ryan Galloway, with our founder, CEO, and primary host, Will Glover, wearing his glasses tonight. And I was wearing some glasses too. Spencer's wearing a Paul Pierce jersey. He didn't start with that on. I think that's kind of fun. We had a great time. Spencer, welcome to the show. Website coming soon. Be sure to find us on social media and interact with us. Send Will hate mail. He will read and respond to most of them. He'll read them all. He might not respond if you hurt his feelings or you call him out on something.
No, that's not even true.
Stupid.
I'm consistent.
That being said,
you're the soft one.
That being said, thank you so much, and we will see you next week.
Where'd he go?